This next video will deal with the first part of usually activity 3, adding new students, and we're going to start with basically creating a basic form, and that ensures that the student's name and date of birth are present basically on this form. It won't currently cover the next 3 sections. That'll be in separate videos later on. We're just going to look at creating the form and then making sure that the key information is actually able to be entered onto this form. So, easiest way to create it is we need to look at what table we're going to use to build things. We need to basically make something that's going to add new students. So, we've got the students table, we go up to the create option, and I'm just going to highlight and click on form, and it puts in a default view for us. Obviously this is what we want to go and customize. It's actually quite nice and useful at this point because it's actually got all their results on here, but we're not actually asked for all that because we're just waiting one for making a new person. So I'm going to go through and pretty much customize this. What I want to do first is unlink it to the table, and I want to basically do what's called unbounding these so they're not actually linked. But I could also manually go through and add each item in, but it's often quite a bit easier just to actually drag the information on for us. We're going to just shrink this down so it's a bit smaller because we don't need the box to be quite as wide. And we have all our key information. Now, the student ID, we want to generate that, so we don't want people actually manually going in and typing over this. So we're going to change in the property sheet enabled to no. If the properties aren't showing up, just right click and choose properties and they'll appear. So I've been working from the data tab most of the time. So I've deleted the record sources from those, and change that enabled for the first one to nothing. This one here, what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of manipulation for the format and look at what sort of types we want. Generally by default we just want them as text, but for the date of birth, that one, let's just say we want it as a short date. And what that does is when we click on it, it gives us the extra little option to go through and manually pick a date. Now, in order to make it a little bit more useful for people, because we need to highlight the things which are required, so what we're going to do is put a little asterisk in, and we're going to just format the colour. Can't recall where it's gone. Okay, that's right, we've got to click off it, and then we can just change its colour, make it red. Just going to copy that a few times, just because these 3 are required. Obviously if you're asked to make it tidied up, you probably want to. Now, just having that little dot's not going to be that useful, so I'm going to add a little bit of a help message. Means it's required, just makes it a bit more obvious what people need to do. Okay, so we've now got our basic form with our 3 pieces of information that are required. Okay, we haven't actually linked it up to anything at this point, but we're going to come back to that later. So this is going to be the end of this video. What we're going to look at in the next video is how to create this student ID.